Whoever you may be, wherever you may live, this program contains material and information that is vitally important to you and your future. It is sensitive information that until now has been kept secret. Since the dawn of time, there is one field in which man has always excelled: the destruction of his fellow human beings.
He told Dr. Russell that he should take this information and lock it up, and in 1,000 years it should be released. He said the people of the earth are not ready for this information.
It has been so long since the need for the experiment to be kept secret has been that I think the time has come to use the possibilities of such a secret, not for military use at the present time, but for the use of science and for the use of knowledge.
It not only disrupted radio, but it did other things. It burned all of our wiring in the plane. It would blow fluorescent lights completely off the wall that might be 2 floors away.
The crew had not been psychologically prepared for what would happen to them, and they ended up very badly. Some of them, has been fairly well established, died as a result. Others spent years, according to their own statements, in Navy hospitals.
The NSA's argument was of such substance as to not require release of the documents because of the possible effect on the national security. Now, if that isn't cover-up, then what is it? Here we have an agency of the U.S. government saying we've got 131 documents about UFOs. We will not release them to anyone, including the judge, because of the sensitive nature of the materials involved.
Best case can definitely be made against CIA. Definitely. The CIA has refused time and again to surrender information which the Air Force acknowledges they received, Army acknowledged they received, FBI would have acknowledged they received, things typically routed through National Military Command Center.
We've gone for main engine start.
The thing that we need now is we need a breakthrough in a new concept in propulsion. That when we talk about chemical propulsion, we've stretched it just about as far as we can. What we need is an anti-gravitational device or something like that. And
do you think that is possible?
Who knows? Anything in the future is possible.
We even got a patent later on. I got a patent on a magnetohydrodynamic device that was very similar to the flying saucer. In fact, it was developed from a combination of all of the ideas of the flying saucer.
In the name of the 12 colonies of man, I demand the release of the humans.
Yes, go ahead.
Flying saucers, laser guns, secret experiments in travel through time and space. Are all these things pure fiction, imagined in the minds of science fiction writers? Or are they glimpses into the future of planet Earth and the coming technology? Are the people of Earth being conditioned to accept a new world? These questions were the reason for a worldwide search for the truth. A search led by Stan Deyo, an inventor and computer technologist from Dallas, Texas, who at one time was an officer cadet at the United States Air Force Academy and an informant for the FBI. This is his story, to uncover the cosmic conspiracy.
Colorado Springs, United States Air Force Academy.
This is where it all began for me. It's just a few miles from the headquarters of the North American Air Defense Command, NORAD, buried deep below Cheyenne Mountain. How quickly the 20 years have gone by since my conditioning was completed. 186 of us have been programmed by post-hypnotic suggestion and subliminal training. But what training, what information had been so sensitive, so secret that even we, the trainees, could not be trusted with the conscious knowledge? Years had passed before I realized that the rebellious instructor who had reprogrammed my mind just before I left the academy had allowed me to eventually remember things that had been locked away in my subconscious, things that could affect the future path of mankind. I wondered how much of that information was connected with other experiments that had previously been carried out in Colorado. I'm sure most of you recognize this. It's light. And I'm also equally sure that most of you recognize this. It's the wire that brings the electricity up to this light to make it work. But how many of you know the name of the man that invented the system that makes this electricity? His name was Dr. Nikola Tesla, perhaps one of the most brilliant scientists of the last 2 centuries. Tesla was a Yugoslav, born in Croatia of Serbian parents in 1857. For over 50 years before his death in 1943, he was a citizen of the United States. Tesla set up a laboratory at Colorado Springs, where he could study the fantastic displays of one of Mother Nature's most awesome powers, lightning. Finally, he emulated nature itself by creating man-made lightning. This genius not only invented alternating current electricity, but also the electric induction motor, the basis of all electric motors today. He transmitted power through the earth, enough to light 10,000 watts of filament globes at a distance of over 25 miles. His work led to the world's first hydroelectric power station at Niagara Falls. At a spectacular and unbelievable demonstration in Madison Square Gardens in 1898, Tesla caused a sensation with the successful operation of the world's first ever remote-controlled device. It was the time of the Spanish-American War, but Tesla's astonishing robotic submarine grabbed front-page headlines. If this submarine were loaded with dynamite, the Americans would have had an awesome new weapon. In Tesla's words, a race of robots. The press and the public of the time could see the potential of this new device, even though the U.S. government could not. But his greatest dream was to construct a tower on Long Island, New York. The purpose of this tower was to transmit pure electrical energy, without wires, around the world. With this form of energy, he foresaw many great things. In this book of 1919 is an article by Nikola Tesla entitled My Inventions. And in this article, he talks about things to come using his broadcast power without wires, based upon his proposed project at Long Island. I'll read you his words. The new self-propelled aerial teleautomaton, devoid of propeller, sustaining wings, and all other means of external control. It can attain a speed of 350 miles an hour, and that was fast in those days, and will reach a predetermined point 1,000 miles away, accurately within a few feet. What I found most astounding about this article was the artist's impression of Tesla's electric flying machine, a cigar-shaped object surrounded by an ionized air globe. This reminded me of the many reports of UFOs that glowed. Was Tesla 80 years ago working on the same principle that flying saucers use? If so, what happened to his research papers on the matter? And why was the almost completed power tower on Long Island blown up by the authorities during World War I?